Well, again, I suppose minorly thwarted by technology. I did a little project, and because, well, it's more fun to do it with you, I chit-chatted along the way. However, a combination of technologies, well, everything just kinda crashed, right? So I did a whole little narration, and does it even count? Well, I suppose it does. Anyway, I'll tell you about the project anyway. I received this in the mail from a friend from Vancouver Island, and this is sent to her from a student at elementary or junior high school uh, in Quebec, in the province of Quebec in Canada. Her traveling journal, and she wants this journal to go around to various countries and folks fill in some pages and whatnot. However, there's a bit of a conundrum in that it needs to be returned before April 30th. And I think it's made only one stop before me, so it might not be very interesting. But in her introduction, uh, she really wants it to go to Japan because Japan has pandas. So sadly, I'm going to have to dissuade her of the notion that Japan has indigenous pandas or wild panda, maybe perhaps in the zoo. I don't know. So instead, I put together a few little pages of konnichiwa from Okayama, Japan, a little fake passport entry stamp to Narita Airport, which I don't. Anyway, my name is Dave Durr. I'm originally from Canada, but far, far west. Traveled many countries when visiting. Da 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 da. Okayama, between Hiroshima and Kobe, close to Kyoto in one direction and the lovely inland sea in the other way. I met a wonderful lady who has an arborist business, loves nature, as well as doing traditional Japanese tea ceremony, which she's doing all of the time, and singing jazz. Soon we were married and welcomed the son. I'll include our New Year's card here so you can see us, and on the back is our highlights and illustrations. So I put these little photo corners, so please take out so you can see the side. Put a stamp for our neighborhood. Tsuchida, dirt field, Okayama, hills and mountains, Nihon, the origin of the sun, uh, sun origin. This is just a little stamp for our neighborhood that a friend made us. Thanks to you. And I love sending mail. And then here's a picture of me. So all these were made by a friend. These three. Thank you for that. And this is in a classic, same kind of notebook as used in when I was a kid at school in Canada. These Hilroy ones with the hole punch, so you can put them into a trapper keeper, a binder of sorts. Anyway, I included a postcard of some scenery, a postcard to keep or share of some classic Japan vibes. Here's my webpage if you want to see more photos and diaries, a stamp of a train ticket. We have a pet rabbit named Maru. And over here, sadly, panda bears are not native nor wild in Japan. There are black bears, mostly. I've used capital case here, but lowercase here because I'm not sure why. Mostly northern areas. Remember, Japan is a small country, but covers a lot of latitude from north to south and has various coastlines, so I've just realized I've made this a huge translation hassle forever for whoever is tasked with this. Means lots of different climates and geography from beaches to mountains. In our areas, we have lots of wild boar. They roam at night, so we rarely see them, but they tear up gardens, which is very frustrating. Sad face. I think pigs are very smart and adaptable, however. They can also swim in open seas to outer islands. Pig stamp for evidence. Let's discuss other animals. Let's make that into a colon there. And tear up gardens. Some areas of Japan, or Nihon, or Nippon, have lots of wild monkeys. Some like to soak in hot springs. Others are just complete jerks, but I won't write that. A few famous dog breeds come from Japan, including Akita and Shiba. There's a famous story about a dog named Hachiko. I think that's... Gosh, I hope that's right. With a popular statue in Tokyo. P.S. Tokyo is very big and busy, so I don't go much. Hachiko's a loyal dog. I might be wrong with the name. This postcard is a painting by Yumeji Takahisa, who is originally from Okayama. I should do a whole soliloquy about how he traveled to Berlin and San Francisco in the early part of the 1900s and brought Japan bohemian culture back and forth across continents. And then later, getting caught up in the imperial era and everything went downhill in Japan. But there's a museum, a small museum, delightful small museum near the famous garden, which I point out here, near the castle and garden. He mostly painted ladies and cats. He also did fine art and commercial art, where sometimes there's this dividing line between those. I won't get into that. There's also his birthplace house and a reconstruction of his studio from Tokyo in a nearby town, which is also delightful. And of course, if you're curious, there's a diary about it on my website, my poor little website. Our area of Okayama is famous for peaches, so big, white, and juicy. Muscat grapes, very different than Canada or Europe. Denim, people come here to have custom jeans or other accessories made by artisan makers. And I have a brochure I could include, but I've already gone overboard. Momotaro, this is a folktale of a boy born from a peach who is very strong, and along with a dog, pheasant, and monkey, defeated a giant to save the people, ... something, something. Here they are. Japan is, of course, famous for beautiful shrines, temples, alongside bright neon lights, fast trains, and new technology. Popular sports include marathon or other long-distance running, which always, to the point of chronic exhaustion and knee pain. Sumo wrestling, these guys are so big, ! Plus other fighting styles like karate and judo. Also baseball and soccer. Sadly, ice hockey is just a small sport now. I hope you enjoyed. From Dave, and a couple little stamps here. So next, I will send this to a friend in Gifu who is also a Canadian, but he went to French immersion school in British Columbia, which is a great life hack. But he is a frequent correspondent. Of course, anyone who watches along with my progress knows who I'm talking about. And then maybe we'll go to Byzantium Bill. I'll maybe make a memo in there. But either which way, it has to get back to Canada by April 30th. And the way things are moving right now with postal services, I'm a wee bit nervous about all of that. But I've done my effort. I hope it's diligent and the young student enjoys. And I should have done a whole chapter about my great pal, Rob and Sandra, who live in Quebec. But, she already knows about Quebec. They already know about Quebec. Au revoir, bonjour, bonjour, merci, au revoir. J'aime toi.